G'day, Goldson here, bringing you my Enchanting Alt Army setup. In this setup guide, I'm going to go through, like in the engineering video, going to go through the theory, and then I'll show you a practical guide at the end of this, just to help you learn more like what I'm going to be doing on launch, or how I set it up. Alright, the goal of this build is to utilize the concentration to convert cheap materials into the rank 3 consumables. Right now, as we say all the time, concentration equals gold. The more you have it, the more concentration you have, the more potential gold you can make. Alright, reagents. We're going to be focusing on the weapon oils. Where you got the Algari Mana Oil, which is your crit haste onto the weapons. The oil of Beladar's Grace, which is your healing oil, might be popular. And finally, the oil of deep toxins, which I think this one's going to be pretty special. But more on that in the practical. I'll talk about that. Alright, why these reagents? Consumables, if you like. Well, the rank 3 oils will be used by players to min-max their output. You know, like as an ex-Mythic Plus player myself, I would always buy the highest rated consumables. I know deep down it doesn't really matter, like if you miss a GCD, there goes all the bonuses, but nonetheless people want the best of the best. It's the same reason they want rank 5 instead of rank 4 crafted gear. Okay. Chance that the oil of the deep toxin becomes the Bis oil. This oil is unlocked by Artisan Security in Ashkahet, and yeah, if I don't know, this one might be pretty good, but it all depends on the simulations. Yeah, so when all those people simulate and this oil does 0.1% better, then this is the one that's going to be making the money. Either way, this minimum build will allow you to create the rank 3s of either these 3 oils, so don't really worry. If they're used, then you'll be able to create whichever one's popular. Alright, so the minimum build for this, we have to get to 72 skill. We're going to have the common tools for 18 skill. A total of 70 knowledge points to get where we want to be. And again, my favourite, multi-craft, ingenuity. That's secondary stats. Multi-craft's the best because you're going to get more crafts over time, and ingenuity allows you to have more crafts, so it's a win-win in my situation for this build, because resourcefulness ain't really a thing considering we're using the cheapest mats, so who cares? Well, I don't anyway. If you want just as a side note, if you do want to care about resourcefulness, it's just more time and effort you're going to put in getting the knowledge points for like a 4% chance on resourcefulness. Yeah. Concentration, we go through it every time. At the moment, 1 equals every 5, or 1 recharges every 5 minutes, or 2,000 a week. In my case, I'm banking on the cap of 1,000 every 3.5 days. So basically I want to deplete all the concentration, wait 3.5 days, log in, spend it all again. So I'm always spending when it builds up to 1,000, and so logging in twice a week is pretty optimal in my opinion. The average per day 286, per hour 12. So it's a slow recharge, but if you times this number by how many ults you have, so that for me I have 120. So 120 times 12, what's that? 1440 concentration an hour, so it adds up when you think about the grand scheme of things. Alright, so I had a comment from my engineering video from Desarius, thank you. They said you can also get the scrap by pilfering through the old Shadowlands and Dragonflight engineering stuff. They have saved up Severite bolts for this, so there's no need to farm scraps. That way you still need a few at the start to get the 5 skill and then pilfer the old materials. Yeah, I just gathered the first 5 from humanoids. So that's a pretty cool comment. I really like that because I didn't know anything about that. So if you got if you see anything, just chuck it in the comments, and I just want to get that community feel to it. But we're going to start with step 1. So step 1 in my simulation of this, I'm going to buy the green profession tools straight off the auction house. I'm going to go forward, not back. So you can proc the secondary stats for additional gains. So this guide doesn't really require you to have these green tools, FYI. But if you want to and you want to save some materials, depending on, like you could be watching this 6 months into the the expansion, you just buy it. So anyway, step 2, obtain these reagents. So I've made a list here, a bit of a shopping list. I've tested this a few times, and I've been successful every time, and I've reduced it down to buying just these mats. So like it's pretty specific. This is one thing you can buy. You can buy most of these, but this Codified Greenwood, you'll be able to buy it, but it might be cheaper if you make it on your own scribe. But anyway. But if you purchase these items, and we go to next step, you want to craft these until skill 20. So you start off at 1, craft 4 of these, and then you get to 5, and then you craft this up to 10, 1. You know, so I just follow my little table here, and this is being efficient with the materials. So the ones where I'm crafting like 4 and 5, that's the ones which just using storm dust, and the other ones that are like 1 and 2 are using more complex, expensive mats. So step 4, once you do that, you should be 20. So craft these ones until you get to steel 40. So just follow this guide here if you want. This is what I'm doing, so it's up to you. It's by no means fully efficient, like 100%. Maybe about 95% efficient, but you'll see that in the practical. Okay, step 5, once you're 40, you want to craft these items until you're 60. So it's the same, it's a rinse and repeat. So you go from 20, 40 to 60, and you craft these items here, and then we go to next step. Okay, next step, you want to spend, after all those first crafts, you're going to get 20 knowledge points to spend, and I recommend spending it inferior, I can't even pronounce that shit, but you go 5, 10 and then 5, that's for a clean 20. And the reason you do that is to unlock this Oil of Beladar's Grace, but you don't actually need 5 points, you just need to unlock the node to get it. And just as you know, this step 7, to get from 60 to 72, you have enough mat to get to skill 72 if you use my list. So say you're at the blue mark here and you got skill 60, all right? So then you spend the knowledge points to unlock the Beladar's weapon oil, whatever, and then you craft until you craft the Armored Leech enchant. You'll have enough for 12. Probably won't use 12, but you've got enough there. So you just craft until you hit 70, and as soon as you hit 70, you want to craft 2 of the Oil of Beladar's Grace, 2 of them, and they'll pump you up to 72. So that's my most efficient method of leveling up, because if you're going to level up like 10 enchanters, you know, and you want to buy all the mats at one time, you just want to be efficient as possible, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy, like, for example, enough mats for like 10. I'll chuck it all in the war bank and just punch through this list on all my alts. Okay, step 8, allocate 70 knowledge points in total. This is my leveling path. So you got the triple E here, 5 in there. 5 will give you 10 skill. Like these are the points spent here, and for this is how many skill points you get towards this oils. So the most efficient one here being probably this one, optimal oils. Optimally 20 points will give you 60 skill, and then back to the start, 25 points will give you 40. So yeah, so that's the full build there, pretty much. 70 points. Yep, that's, like I said, that's the minimum build. 70 points. Trying to get ahead of myself here. 72 skilled, green tools and equipment. That's all you need to start pumping out rank 3 oils, which is, in my opinion, I reckon it's a lot of people are going to focus on anything but the oils, so that might be the opportunity. And if you want, chuck in multi-craft on your tool and ingenuity enchant if you want. It's up to you, but I'm going to save it for the rare tools, the final build. Okay, how to use it effectively. The build requires you to log in bi-weekly, so in my case it'll be like Wednesday, Saturday, or Thursday, Sunday, or like, Monday to Thursday. I can't remember, but it's every 3.5 days. I've got a spreadsheet for that. I don't even think about it. Like essentially, I go back. So my spreadsheet, when I build it, which is coming soon, like before the launch, my spreadsheet will tell me, okay, Monday you're going to log into these alts, you're going to do this, you're going to do, like, literally it's just going to be all planned, and it's checkbox, so I can just put on my music and just chip away. Anyway, determine what you want to craft. So like, it's like which oils number 1. Say you pick the main oil, the toxin oil is good. All right, we're going to use all 10 alts to craft that. So, and you base that on the price and demand. So you determine which oils which is in demand. You go, yeah, I'm going to buy that. Get all the mats together, purchase it. So like whether you use a spreadsheet or whatever add-on you use to multi-craft or like calculate, and then chuck them in the war bank. And I like the war bank. I've been testing that right now on live, crafting the Azure Weave bolt, because just today the wall banks became available. So yeah, I was just mucking around and it's so good. What I got into a habit of like just chucking the items in the wall bank and then just using my guild bank. Like I'll craft the items and then I'll just chuck it in the guild bank. So like keep it separate. So completed items will be in the guild bank and all the reagents will be in the wall bank. It's a bit cheaper that way too. Okay, and then like as you log in, you just want to expend all your concentration and craft as many rank 3s as you can. I've written here reagents, but you know what I mean. You craft as many as you can, log out, log into the next one, craft as many as you can, and you do that like until you finished all your enchanters. And then yeah, okay, conclusions and my thoughts. Like people ask, oh, how many alts you're gonna have? Still haven't worked that out. I could give a guess. I'd say 10 alts enchanters set up like this. I got to work out the numbers. I got to work out what I think's going to make the most money over time and prioritize more of them and less of the other ones and stuff like that. I haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, why multi-craft and engineer? I think I touched on it just before, but multi-craft allows you to have more crafts. So if you think over a whole expansion, like if I can get it set up in like the first 2 weeks and then I got like 80 something weeks to like craft every day or every twice a week, multi-craft's going to give you more crafts over time. So more crafts over time equals more gold, and ingenuity allows you to have multiple crafts every time you have a session. And the value, where is it? Well, the build is essentially you're buying all the like the cheap reagents and then just using your concentration to convert it to the rank 3 consumables and then just selling it, because you know you can if you fully spec out you can mass craft all this shit, but you have to buy like higher rank materials to do it. But either way, like we can use rank 1 and all rank 2 materials. Shit, eventually with the maximum build we can use rank 3s if you really want to, but the value is getting shit cheap and then converting it to more expensive. The bigger gap you can have between your purchase, your cost, and your revenue, you're going to have higher profits. Okay, here's the maximum leveling path. It's actually like more points, like way more points to get these. It's the shattering path where you got to shatter an element or whatever, and then you get buffs, temporary buffs. This will just increase your procs and be able to craft more. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. You know, it's 90 points, and you don't even get into the resourcefulness tree. It's kind of silly, but yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I'm just, because I'm going to have 10 alts, I'm happy to get to 70 points and just chill, you know, which we're going to get pretty quickly. Like, it's not going to take long to get into the position where we can pump them out. So yeah, so thanks for watching. The theory might have gone a bit too quick or too slow, I don't know, not too sure, but yeah, stay tuned, because right now we're going to go through the practical version. I'll palm you off to Goldson earlier today, recording videos. So if you want to have a check that out, give us any feedback in the comments. I want to know what other people are doing, checking it out. Like, you know, what do you reckon of my idea? You reckon it's shit? Is it good? Either way, you know, I'm going to do it. But if you can comment on, that'll be much appreciated. And thanks for your viewership. I do appreciate it. On to you, Goldson. Alrighty, we're going to do the practical now. So I'll start the timer just to simulate sort of how much time it will take us set up. So I'm just going to open to the wall bank, and I've got some tools in here which I'm going to equip for enchanting. So I'll take them out of the bags. Okay, now just going to go and learn enchanting. Alright, once we learn enchanting, I'm going to go and simulate buying all materials. So I've got the list from the theory. What do we want? We want storm dust. We want ring Deep's Ingot, 4 of. What I'll do, I'll just go and buy them all and skip to that. Okay, buying the last Enchanting Vellums here. Okay, so I've got all materials and equip the green tools. Alright, once they're equipped, personally I'm a bit OCD. I'm just going to put all my materials down here. That way when we first craft or when we make the enchants, they'll come up here so we can sort of see the order. Alright, so we're going to go follow our list, our leveling path. So go to enchanting, bring it up, drag it onto my bars, open up enchanting. Okay, now we're ready. So first on the menu is to craft 4 of the first item, which is Glimmering Haste, 4 of them. Okay, then learn Glimmering Critical Strike, and we want 5 of these, which will bring us up to skill 10. And once we're skill 10, we will learn the 2 recipes. Mirror Powder, Whisper of Armored Avoidance. I'm going to craft 1 Mirror Powder and then 4 of the Armored Avoidance, so 4 of them, which should bring us up to technically 15. Alright, we're at 15 now. We just so you know, on my sheet it says to craft 4, but right now on the beta it's pretty hard to see, but it feels like, I'm not sure actually. But we're at 15, that's all that matters, because once you get 15 you can unlock the next 2. So basically all we're doing is crafting until we get to the next milestone. So we'll train these, right, and saying Bismuth Rod will give us 3, so we can craft that, but we already got 1, so it doesn't matter. But I suspect with this build, because it's got these resonant crystals, or sorry, not resonant, refulgent crystal, which means kind of like they're going to be expensive, so I don't plan on doing this straight away. Probably maybe week 2 or 3, who knows. I'm not in a rush for these, to be honest, but it's not a priority of mine. But either way, I'm simulating it the same as what I would. Okay, so we want to get to 20, so we'll craft 2 of these, because you need the Silken Avoidance now. Silken Avoidance doesn't sound tough. Alright, so we're at 20 now. Learn these. We're going to craft our first major enchant. So like I said, looks expensive. It probably will be, but the goal of this, remember, is to level up to 72, and then the quicker you can get to 72, the quicker you can like utilize the like the Dark Moon Fair and stuff to like slowly bring you up to 100 over time. Might take a while. Or what's that, 10 months? 10 months of doing the Dark Moon Fair will get you up to 100. So if you do it every month, but like it's not like it's gonna matter like getting to 100 skill. Getting from 72 to 100 is just a bonus. Okay, so we should be, we want to craft 3 mana oils. Okay, now we're gonna craft the Illusory, I don't know. One of them. I'll probably never use it. I'm not into the cosmetic side of the game, to be honest. Alright, we want to craft 4 of these up until level 30. So when we hit level 30, we'll just stop. Oh, there we go. Let's skip. You see that? We went from 28 straight to 30. Sometimes it skips, so it's really hard to calculate, like, because that said it was like a red, guaranteeing a chance of 1 skill up, and some have 3, but sometimes it gives you 2, so it's a bit weird. Okay, what, no, Pandaren T-Mog or whatever it is. I don't know. That's not going to be a priority. That's not going to be a big seller compared to the mana oils and that we're going to be selling. So we're not really focused on the cosmetic side of gold making, but there's probably money in it. Don't get me wrong. All right, we want a few of these. We want to get up to 35. So we're getting there. We're nearly there. Okay, 35. We're learning. Craft some more Silken Leech until 35. All right. We are level 40 now. You notice the specializations. I'm not going to... we'll wait to get to 60 before we tuck into those specializations. So I've got it all planned here, so as you probably know from the theory. Okay, we're going to craft 1 of these. Stonebound Artistry. And then 1 Enchanted Spearwood wand, which requires you to get 1 of these Codified Greenwoods, which I believe is from Inscription. So you only need 1 of those. Okay, so we should be at 45, yep. And then we want 5 Glimmering Versatilities, which will bring us up to the next milestone. Oh yeah, by the way, we do the 4s and 5s are the cheap stuff, so this build just makes you spend the least amount as possible whilst being time efficient, because you could technically sit here and min-max the materials and, like, you know, but that's just going to take more time, whereas on launch or when I actually go to do this, I'm literally just going to buy the materials, sit here and go down my list, tick the box, and yeah, just get to 72 as quick as possible, log out, and then log into my next character, my next enchanter, do the exact same until all of them are done. It'll cost me a bit of money, but once it's set, the quicker I can get it set up, you know, then it's just, once all my alts are set up, then the ball's rolling from there, right? Okay, we want to get to 55, so we're nearly at 60, so you get to see that 1 craft skipped 2 then, so it's a bit weird. Just stop. Oh, we went from 54 to 56, so we're above 55 now. It doesn't matter because we've got a bit of a what do you call it? What's the word? Bit of like a capacitor, or like, what's the word? I can't feel it. Can't remember it. Bit of a bit of leeway, bit of green. I don't know. Can't remember. But we're pretty much at 56, and then we're just going to craft 1 of each of these. Storm Rider's Fury. I mean, you could technically use your concentration and sell them if you really wanted to. It might be pretty wise. You might as well, because you're going to craft it anyway. That might be an idea to try and remember. if I remember. I don't know. Same with this one, Council's Guile. Use your concentration and then sell them to try and recoup some sort of money if you want to. You know, if I remember, I remember. If I don't, I don't. I've got enough money or in the game to not worry about it. Okay, so we're at 60 now. So at 60, the next step is to go into your specializations, and you want to unlock the Ethereals, enrichments and equipment, or the Triple E, that's a mouthful, that is. Okay, we got 20 points here, so apply knowledge, so we got 5 into that one, which will unlock the Material Maestro. We want 10 in that one, and then that's straight into optimal oils. And we do this, we're doing this so we can unlock the oil of Beladar's Grace, which is the oil for the healers, but like, you know, like the healers probably won't use it. Oh, they might use it, I don't know. It's even if we have healers, but we put in our 20 points there, and then we go back to recipe. Okay, now we go back, and then we want to craft more of these Whisper of Armored Leech until basically we want to craft that until 70. So we've got enough here for 15, so we're definitely going to hit 70. So this build has a little bit of extra green, just in case. Like I've calculated, like I'm going to have roughly 80 Storm Dust and about 4 Enchanting Vellums left over. The rest will be kind of used. Bit of leeway is pretty good. So 60, 68, 68, 69, favourite numbers. Oh, there we go, 70. Alright, so we're at 70 now. So we only want 2 more points, and the last 2 are the oil, as you guessed it, the oil of Beladar's Grace, the one we unlocked through the specialization tree. Okay, so we got enough to craft 2 of them, and that will bring us up to 72, which is our minimum build number. Okay. Alright, so yeah, roughly, like I said, going to have roughly 80 Storm Dust remaining and 4 Enchanted Vellum. So it doesn't seem that bad for a time save if you follow my list. But yeah, basically we're at 72 now. So 72 plus the 18 skill points from the tools will net you enough points to get up to, you know, crafting or converting rank 1 materials into the rank 3 oils. And I believe this oil of Deep Toxin here, which is unlocked in an Ashkahet vendor. I think you just use what's that stuff called? Artisan's Acuity. So you use that, and this one there's like a chance on hit for nature damage. So it's people are either going to be using this, which is going to cost more, or they're going to use the cheap. I reckon this one's going to be the cheap one, the Algari Mana Oil. This one seems like the cheaper version, but this one is a bit more clearer in the tooltip. This one says coat your weapons, increasing crit strike and haste. So crit haste, I can see that being popular, but like people might use this one first because it's cheaper, but I suspect the better one is the one that isn't so, you know, obvious. This one might do more damage. It's all based on simulations and stuff. People will just choose whichever, but either way, it doesn't matter. This build allows you to choose any one of those 3 oils. And being that and people, mind you, they're going to be loving rank 3 because no one wants rank 2, especially when it comes to damage. They'll pay top dollar for the rank 3, and I think that's where this build is going to come in handy, because I reckon every time you come in here every 3.5 days and just craft a bunch of these oils, they're going to sell like hotcakes, man. But anyway, let's move on quickly to the maximum leveling path, which I got my thoughts on that actually. So we just quickly unlock some more. Let's pretend we got more knowledge point gains from doing our weeklies and whatever, disenchanting. We'll fully unlock this as you do. So that should total 70 points, as if I can recall. So 70 points, right? Where's the mana oil? So we'll favorite these 2 just so they're at the top. Okay, and then the other, if you want the maximum build, which which is the shattering effect, where you shatter an item and you get like a buff. But I've done some testing, so even like you got to put like more points into this. So I've put in here 5 points, and then go max out into multi-crafting, which will give you the most multi-craft. None of these points give skill. It's just pure resourcefulness, multi-craft, and ingenuity. So that's 35 points already. And then we spend another 10 so we can unlock this Macula Ingenuity, because we want multi-craft ingenuity. Resourcefulness is there. With this build, who cares? Resourcefulness is nothing. So that's roughly the build, and then a further 15, I think. Yeah, 15 points into here, which will max it out. I mean, you could unlock it for 5% more materials, but doesn't matter. But from what I gathered, when you hover over the what do you call it, the stat, so it's got multi-craft 10. When you use the shattering, it will go to like 14%. So if we, I guess we'll shatter one, I guess. Okay, we'll shatter. Okay, we got a little buff here that increases our secondary stats. All right, so yeah, it's up 4%, ingenuity up 5%, and in this one, resources only up 1%. So you got 6, so went from 6 to 7, 11 to 15% on the multi-craft, and ingenuity went up like what, from 8% to 13%. So if we click off it, you'll see it. The 10, it's from 6% resourcefulness, 10% multi, 8%. Like it doesn't seem like a big benefit for the amount of knowledge points you got to chuck in. That you got to chuck in more than the minimum build to get in here. It just seems like more work, but like again, we don't know how much these are going to be worth. If they're worth nothing and no one uses them, or they use the sharpening ones instead, I'm not sure. But I'm not willing to dump in 90 points just for that 4% extra bonus on each stat. So I'm not going to be doing this. I'm just going to do the nice and easy 70 points in here and then pump out, because it's the alt army, man. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hope you liked it. Probably didn't ramble too much, I don't know. But yeah, have a nice day. I'll catch you later, mate.